You're now the head of USAID. The head of Doge, Elon Musk, called USAID a criminal organization and added that it is time for it to die. Do you agree with that?
They have basically evolved into an agency that believes that they're not even a U.S. government agency, that they are a global charity, that they take the taxpayer money and they spend it as a global charity, irrespective of whether it is in the national interest or not in the national interest. One of the most common complaints you will get if you go to embassies around the world from State Department officials and ambassadors and the like is USAID is not only not cooperative, they undermine the work that we're doing in that country. They are supporting programs that upset the host government for whom we're trying to work with on a broader scale and so forth. So they're completely unresponsive. They just don't consider that they work for the U.S. They just think they're a global entity and that their master is the globe and not the United States. And that's not what the statute says, and that's not sustainable.
Can it be reformed, or does it need to die?
Well, that was always the goal, was to reform it. But now we have rank insubordination. Now we have basically an active effort where their basic attitude is, we don't work for anyone, we work for ourselves. No agency of government can tell us what to do. So the president made me the acting administrator. I've delegated that power to someone who's there full time, and we're going to go through the same process at USAID as we're going through now at the State Department.
Good.
I think there are some. Good. This is not about getting rid of foreign aid. There are things that we do through USAID that we should continue to do that makes sense, and we'll have to decide: is that better through the State Department, or is that better through something, a reformed USAID? That's the process we're working through. There are things that are happening at USAID that we should not be involved in funding, or that we have a lot of questions about. But they're completely uncooperative. So we had no choice but to take dramatic steps to bring this thing under control.
Just love it. I just love it.
So much winning.
Other presidents would have just given up on it and like, okay, they won't comply.
That's the way things are.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why USAID is so upset is because 97% of all political contribution from their employees went to a Democrat candidate on the Daily Wire.
Yeah, read that. So there's an account on Twitter that yesterday posted something, and they were going back and forth with Elon Musk, and I'm so glad to know that Elon saw this. This person's got the inside track. If you're to believe what you're seeing there, this is the cash cow for Democrats.
This is from an X account, Aesthetica, that Elon Musk replied to. Said, talk to a friend who has connections within the Democrat Party, and he said the level of panic over Trump and Elon shutting down USAID is unlike anything he's ever seen. By following the money, Doge has struck a killing blow to the heart of the Democrat deep state machine. Now, this is what Trump said he was going to... Remember, he's going to drain the swamp the first time around. And that didn't happen. I don't think he knew the extent of it. He does now.
Right.
And so that's why we're seeing the kind of bold activity that we're seeing. Direct quote, this is worse than 9/11 for Democrats. USAID is the primary vessel they use to achieve their political agenda. USAID is and always has been the primary source of funding for their influence peddling schemes and for their indirect sources of income. Another text. Based on the reactions from within the party, it seems to me that dismantling USAID is Trump's biggest political victory to date. It was his enemy's golden goose. Same source who said during the campaign, well before it was made public, that Kamala's internal polling had her behind Trump. So this information is good. It's pretty reliable. Another important addition. He said initial plans by the Democrats is to have their people at USAID hide the partisan funding under unimpeachable initiatives. They'll push back really hard on certain line items that on their face look like reasonable USAID expenditures and hide their political spending under these programs. So on and on and on this goes. It's just rotten to the core.
Oh, and it talks about what to expect next, too. And they're going to... This is not going to go away. The Democrats will not let this go.
No, it's too important to them.
Yeah.
They've hidden this agenda in this organization, and it looks like you're cutting off charity to the world when you stop them from that agenda. And it's brilliant. They've done some just really brilliant things.
Evil brilliance. Yes. And you wonder
diabolical
how we have gotten into debt the way we have.
Yeah. Which is what Trump mentioned. But, You know, they've got the help of the media, too. The New York Times, CNN, NPR, all kinds of liberal outlets are painting Trump's executive order halting all that foreign aid for 90 days as an effort to leave the world out to dry. You know, it's so heartless. It's so cruel. It's so un-American. Well, first of all, it is not our job to fund the rest of the planet and their transgender agendas, their LGBTQIA2+ agendas. We're not the world's police. We're not the world's babysitter. And we're not the world's bank account.
Ugh.
And it's got to stop. And fortunately, Trump is trying to do just that. I mean, he's trying to stop it.
Money laundering on a massive scale. Massive.
Unlike anything the world has ever seen, obviously.
And God bless the work that Elon Musk and these really smart guys are doing. I think it's like a team of 8, something like that.
It's really incredible.
And I know this since they were doxxed.
Wow. God. So everybody has their address and phone number.
I don't know all the information, but they're definitely identifiable.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, you know, so if something happens to any of the 8, that's on you now.
The first term, though, USAID was something that you liked in some respects.
I love the concept of it.
That's the program.
Sure. I love the concept, but they turned out to be radical left lunatics. And the concept of it is good, but it's all about the people.